This is my wallpaper and this is my motivation to design a new wallpaper. By the end of this video, I should have gained enough inspiration and have designed a farm-inspired wallpaper and icon pack. Let's get it! Originally, I have no plans to shoot a video because I was burnt out. To cut the story short, my adventure quest was to help a family friend fetch their grandma from a faraway province called Calabanga, Bicol, bring her back here in Baguio City for good. But because there's not a strong man to help them carry the baggages, I was summoned to aid. Again, at the time, I wasn't shooting any video, but my friend has other plans. The next morning after we have arrived, we went to meet their relatives nearby, and that's when I started to get a little inspired. The place is quiet and it's comfortable. The scenery is amazing. I really like this hut surrounded by a pond, and the open view gave me instant inner peace.
What color is your spaghetti?
So the design I'm making will work for a super ultra-wide monitor, for a dual monitor, and even if you only have one 1920 by 1080 monitor. I will create a series of floating islands which will be animated. Like something out of a nostalgic game I used to play back then, Bahamut Lagoon adventure game, which is one of my favorites. Left side will have the largest floating land because this is where I'll put the open field. The hut surrounded by a pond would be placed here, and maybe a house nearby as well. This area is where the main focus is, which is heavily inspired by what you are about to see. I was even more stunned by this view just outside the house we were staying in. What I love about this is the overwhelming open space, the fresh air, the smell of grass and morning dew. This is the field in the middle of the main wallpaper. The left side is done, let's go to the right side or the optional monitor. And this will be accompanied by a church cathedral structure but as a ruin. But this is the only inspiration I got of the church. I'll be back with the ruins later, but for now, let me ruin you.
Hey yo!
Now we need natural elements such as plants and animals. Philippines is a tropical climate, so you'd expect a lot of palm trees, tropical plants, tree of heaven, as well as vines. I was gonna do that, but then I played The Sims 4 and I simply copied this tree, so I guess playing games is the least hassle way to get inspiration. Yo, adorable ducks. I wanted to throw a rock at the duck to see if it would duck, but with no luck, I saw no rock. No deer, nor a buck, but what I saw is the one called cock, also known as chickens, but who gives up? I don't swear, by the way. Of course, birds flying across should be added, but I'll choose white storks because they fly really high. By the way, I also saw a spider. Should I add that? Heck no. So I just took notes of these animals, but wait till I animate all of them. Wait for it. Considering the time of day is really important when you're trying to make a scenic background, I took quick videos of the space in different times, but I think around lunchtime is still the best because of the warmness of colors it gives, especially to the grass. And the sky reflecting on any bodies of water becomes more clear during this time. Let's color this up real quick. Colors are good, shadows are good. Now you might have noticed I didn't do the clouds and the ruins yet because I needed more inspiration. So this is what I did. After a 15-hour ride home, the next day I went to the province again. But this time it's a 2-hour drive, thank God for that. After arriving, this is what I saw. This inspired me to make a clouds without using line art because, as you can see, clouds don't usually have edges. My inspiration battery is almost full. I told you I would need an inspiration for the ruins, right? Well, guess what? We also went to the ruins nearby, the Pindangan ruins. Sheesh! This is exactly what I needed.
Yan po yung ruins na dating
sila.
After paying the entrance fee using this weird torture-like device, I don't know, I went straight to the ruins. I need to feel it. I need to touch it appropriately. Smell it. See it with my own eyes. Speaking of ours, look at the buttress. They didn't use steel reinforcement back then, so everything relied on heavy stones. This is exactly what I need for the art, as well as a statue like this. By the way, you guys can actually download this wallpaper either on Gumroad, buy it as a pre-made wallpaper, or join my Patreon, which is also a better deal because you will also get some other exclusive benefits like the full-length video of this artwork itself, or PSD files, ebooks, etc. Feel free to join, link is in the description. My inspiration battery is almost full, but good fantasy background needs a good fantasy character. And I don't mean fantasizing on your anime character. I'm thinking of a farm-inspired young warrior. I didn't see any wild warrior in Bicol, so I had to do the most creative act yet. Google search. I'll animate a female character on the other side too, but you gotta wait for that. It'll look awesome. This now brings us to movement. It's easy to look around and observe movements of nature, but the truth is, you can never really stimulate... Stimulate? You can never simulate real physics, especially for two-dimensional frame-by-frame animation, so what I need to do is a loop animation using the least amount of frames for the objects. For example, the trees and shrubs, you can just make 3 frames for these and duplicate the movement over and over. The pond can be a still water, so it's more of like the dark mirror animating. We're almost done with the animation, but of course, I will not forget about the icon pack itself that camouflages in the background, just like this one. I also made an icon pack like game buttons. Pretty cool, huh? Finally, we're done, my fellow broccolians and broccolilies. I am so happy how it turned out. I've never felt this excited again in creating art, but shh, you've waited long enough. It's time for you to see the final artwork. If you wanna get new wallpaper designs each month, just join my Patreon. Thank you so much for your support. On my next video, I'm gonna read some negative comments from Reels, and I'm gonna let that dictate my next wallpapers. It's probably gonna be up here, or I don't know, it's gonna be up here. Consider subscribing. And until next time, my fellow broccolians and broccolilies.